He told me one thing, that either you manage your education or you live. So basically, before COVID, we used to sell products, and post COVID, we are selling solutions.
On today's episode of Success Documented, we have the entrepreneur, visionary, and innovator, Mr. Ankit Agarwal. With deep experience in manufacturing and the electrical industry, Mr. Ankit has various roles, including being the state convener of IEEMA and the CEO of RMC Switchgears Public Limited. Welcome on the show.
Thank you, Shivan.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for calling me.
So just starting off, tell us about your childhood and what led you into the world of business.
So actually, my childhood, it just began like a normal childhood. It was, and I had a very serious money. We used to have a very serious money problem when I was in eighth. And I still remember that I have to fund my school fee from my piggy bank, and that was, I think, that made my mind that money is very important. And so I think that was the point which drove me to do something in business. And I joined my business when I cleared my 10th exam. So my father had two businesses, so I had to join one because he was not able to manage both the businesses. So he said me one line, and that changed my whole life. Actually, all my colleagues were going to good schools and colleges for studying, and even I got good numbers. So he told me one thing, that either you manage your education or you live. So I thought that we should live. So that is why I started going to my business. But that was a crucial point where I learned practical. I got practical experience. I saw what practical world is all about, and it gave me good practical education, which my colleagues were not getting it. They were getting the classroom education. So that was my childhood, and this is how I was brought into the business.
So you started in your business in 10th grade or after 10th grade?
No, after 10th grade.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you did your 11th and 12th while you were working in the business. How was that like?
So I used to go to school, and then post school, I never got any studies. I used to just whenever there was exam, so I just got to study during 1 month of the exam by skipping the business, and otherwise I always used to go to business after school, and that is how I managed it. So God was really kind with me. So
Did you ever regret missing out on the other things in childhood?
Exactly, yes. Because whenever we as a friend were discussing about like how you made your day, and they were just enjoying the day and I was not. So that was a moment I always used to curse myself. But later on, I used to feel very blessed that I could, because that was God made me not to waste time. So I really made my day productive. That day is productive. So I think that whatever happened was a destiny.
I like that you're talking about, avoiding instant gratification for future gratification.
Exactly.
So like, for a large portion of my life, I've been an international swimmer. And training 6 hours a day.
Great.
And school, you don't have time for anything else. So sometimes you question, is this worth it? Should I continue international swimming and leave out on everything else in my childhood? Or should I hope for a better future by doing it? And that's the decision you made.
And that's lovely to know that you are an international swimmer. Great.
Yeah. So, okay, you told us about your start in business, but then I believe the majority of your corporate journey has been in RMC. You started off as the director of marketing sales, and now you're the CEO. Tell us about the journey you've had in RMC and how you've grown throughout.
So I joined RMC since, no doubt, like it is my father's company, started by my father only. But I joined this company in 2007, and I joined as a assistant to the storekeeper. And because my dad wanted me to learn each and every component of the business, and then I was upgraded year on year, not because of my performance, but yes, just to have a look. But so I developed a keen interest in sales and marketing, rather than putting up all my mind. So, but since I was the only guy in my business at that time, so that also led me to basically organize my business in a professional manner, or in a corporate like structure, because I myself wanted to be a salesperson. So that is where I put my mind, and that gave me good thing also, because sales was the thing which ran my business, where that was a crucial component of any business. So that is how basically I have grown up in RMC. Now, since we have all established well departments, so now I'm working as a CEO now.
And you said sales is like the backbone of every business, and you started off in sales. What would be your 2 to 3 tenets of sales? What would be the principles you stand by?
So the principle for doing the sales is that first of all you have to put a proper segmentation, like where you want to do, what you want to do, and how you want to do. So where means you have to find out your prospect, where you want to do the business, like the prospect in terms of the volume, the payments, since we are working with the state government, so we have to identify which states we will be working in. And then you have to put good marketing strategies to work, and you have to find influencers, you have to find purchaser, you have to find a buyer, and you have to find a consumer. So these 4 components you have to identify in any company, so that you can have a good effective sales. So that is a basic scenario for our effective sales.
That's interesting. So you talked about your start in RMC, and now you've talked about your role as the CEO of RMC, and you've been the CEO for quite a few years at this point. What do you think has led to RMC's exponential growth in the past, I think, post-COVID, 5 years? What do you think has led to that?
So many people ask the same question, and I tell them that it is because of the blessings of the God. And so I think post COVID, I would tell you that we have changed a little bit in our strategy, and that worked like wonder for us. So basically, before COVID, we used to sell products, and post COVID, we are selling solutions. So while we were selling products, we used to sell products like whatever we sell. But when post COVID, because during COVID, when I got to know that this kind of a problem can come, so there should be a solution. So then I thought that why the customer will buy my product? The customer will always buy a solution to his problem. So then we had a good market research for a year with my preferred states, and I could find a very big problems, and that is where we changed our objectives of the whole company. So now the objective of my company is to only manufacture or offer services which are related to the theft reduction and accident reduction. So these are the 2 major problems for every utility. So we are giving them the solution by finding the problem area. We always give them in numbers, like which locality has a maximum theft, which locality has a maximum accidents, and that is where we pitch in our solutions, and we do a prototyping, and then when they are okay with that prototyping, we sell them. And I would like to tell you that we had done a very big project in Maharashtra, and they have saved, like the order value was around 300 crores, and they have saved around 5,000 crore rupees already.
I believe that was a solar project.
No, that was not a solar
was not a
project.
solar
That was a metering project.
Okay.
That was in 2022, actually. And secondly, we have expanded our network to the electrical EPC also, and now we have entered into renewable.
Now, tell us more about your entry into renewable. That's very interesting.
Okay. So when we see the growth can always happen with the nation's target or nation's goal. So what we thought is, since we are working towards these objectives, and so we have to provide a sustainable energy. So renewable becomes the best option to opt for. So that was the reason. And since we are already in the EPC, electrical EPC, solar EPC was never a big thing for us. So that is where we had opened one more business unit in solar. And that is how we entered. So it took only 2 months to decide and enter into solar.
And the government must be more supporting of solar.
Exactly. Everybody is supporting because these guys needs players who can work. And since we have a good work portfolio, so we already have the customer already trust us. So that is not a problem. So since like we just thought of entering into solar in last week of July, and we were having our first order in September.
Wow, that's like a quick turn.
Yeah, quick turn.
Completely new.
And that too with a 200 megawatt.
Oh wow.
So that was a huge order. Like if I'll tell anyone, so everybody is surprised that in short time. But this is just blessing of God.
Okay, so whenever you look at RMC, whether it's the website or any post anywhere, it's all about innovation. Like you work to breed an innovative society in RMC, and I guess that's a large component of growth in RMC. How do you cultivate a culture of innovation in your employees and yourself?
So basically, we always ask our employees or customers, as I told you, my first point when I told you that we always work on problems gives a birth to innovation. Because whenever you feel thought for a solution, you will find an innovative idea. We have regarding the employees or cultivating the innovation among the employees, we have always appreciated them and we have always encouraged them by giving the ideas and rewarding them. And whenever we take them in our system, we always focus more on innovation. Like we put them into challenges, we put them into problems, and see that we never ask them about their experience, work related experience. We always ask them what failures they had done, what problems they have made, they have came across, and what challenges they have put in, so that we can understand their capabilities of taking actions and taking the corrective actions, and to solve the problems in a different manner. So that is how we take them into the system. And once they are in system, we always reward them. So this is a part of employees. And point number two is, like whenever we discuss with our employees, we never tell them what to do. We always ask them what should be done. So I think this also gives them, it also empowers them to give solutions.
Yeah, I really like what you said about the interview part, and when you're inducting someone into the business, you ask them or you gauge their problem-solving ability. That's something, I guess, it's similar to what Google and Microsoft do in their interview process, and I really like that. I saw a recent statistic that people are employing less from Harvard, Stanford, Yale, and they're looking more at people from a diverse set of colleges and looking at their actual ability to solve problems. So you've incorporated that. So I presume you don't look much at education as much as other businesses do?
No, education doesn't matter a lot, since my education is not too much, but still I'm doing it. So I think that education does not play a role. Education is just to make you logical, that's it. Because if you're illiterate, you will never make a logical decision, so you will never be a logical person. So education is only for becoming a logical, that's it. Nothing more than that.
And if you can develop that logic without it.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so one more thing about RMC that's very unique is their CSR, corporate social responsibility. You know, you have book, plant, and food drives, blood donation camps. You know, a lot of businesses I've seen, they just look at CSR, they're like, it's a waste of money, waste of time, and waste of productivity. Why would I do it? Why do you do it there at RMC?
So actually, CSR is very important, because actually business, so why do we do business actually? So business is for making profit, making money, yes it is. But for whom? For you, yes it is. But what for the society? If you're not doing it for the society, then you are better. You can do smuggling. It will make more money. So if you're doing business, you have some responsibilities towards the society, which you should do, and always target. Like suppose when I'm telling you that we are working for the problem, we are working for the solutions on the problem for the utilities, we are working towards the society, we are working for the society. So whenever you will do something for the society will pay you back. So you can just think while doing the CSR activity that you can pour in your selfish aim that you will get it back.
Could you expand on that?
Suppose you are a selfish person and why should I waste money? So you can think that if you are paying something in CSR, the society will pay you back. In any term, it can pay back. Because see, if you are doing something for the education, you are developing people for you. If you are doing something for maybe low poverty line people, you are securing the society, or securing yourself from getting robbed maybe. Because if they don't have money, they can go for robbing. You want to delete the gap or disparity between a rich or a poor. So you can have a selfish aim while doing the CSR activity.
Yeah, I mean, another selfish aim I think you can incorporate, or people can incorporate into their CSR thing. If you help society, more society will want to help you more. Like, if your customers see that you're going around helping other people, they'll be more inclined to purchase your products. Have you seen that somehow?
So I don't buy that because actually nobody sees that, and I would never do an activity which will create a sales out of that. But then you are not doing it for society. So I'd never buy that, because if you buy this product, I'll donate 1 rupee. I'll not buy that, because that you are not doing it, your customer is doing it. And we are talking about the CSR. That is the CSR activity for the company. That is, your customer is donating. You are not donating.
Just before we started this podcast, you talked about how running a business in Rajasthan is quite difficult. Could you tell us about how, you were mostly in villages and stuff like that? How did you expand out of that, and what was your experience growing a business in Rajasthan?
Okay. So while working in Rajasthan, you majorly face a manpower issue. The manpower issue related to the white collars and the blue collars. White collar means, I'll explain you, like the managers or the technical people, the skillful people, because of the lack of education schools and institutions in Rajasthan. So the students of Rajasthan always go out and then they work there only. So to counter that, we are calling other state people to live in Jaipur, and we are blessed that Jaipur is a beautiful city. So whoever comes to Jaipur always stay in Jaipur. So we are calling outside people in Jaipur. So no doubt we have to offer them a higher package. So that is a cost to the company, but that is fine, because because the team has to do business and they have to earn for it. And secondly, for the blue collars, we have to increase some salaries, we have to increase some compensation or some perks we have to give to eliminate that. That is the only thing we are doing.
There's no issues on the manufacturing side, or is that largely okay in Jaipur?
No, manufacturing side, it is an issue while we seek support. In Delhi, suppose you will go, so industrialization is quite high, so you will have a good support from in Delhi. But again, since we can't leave Jaipur, we have no other option. So you have to manage it. See, you can't always dream of a smooth business, okay? So you can't have a smooth road to move around.
Yeah.
So that is why I think we are here.
That's a good mentality to adopt, right? Especially I think younger people, when they get into business, they think about the reward and they don't think about the road to the reward. They're like, I'll make a lot of money easily. That's the...
So that is the difference between a first generation and a second generation. Because first generation knows how he has built the building. But second generation knows how to just walk in that building. So the first generation, and it is a fact of life. Whenever like you are an international swimmer, if you have won the gold medal, nobody would see that how much hours you are giving to the practice. They will just see how lucky you are to get that medal. Am I right?
Yeah. That's true. That's so true.
So, and you only know the hard work you are doing.
Yeah.
So this is the only difference.
Yeah, when someone like I think the Zapto brothers, I saw this today only on LinkedIn. Whenever people see their success, they're like, oh, his parents were rich. That's why he's successful.
Exactly.
If someone else, he's like, oh, he must have won the lottery or something. That's why he's successful. People don't want to take accountability of what made them successful or what made others successful because they don't want to do the work.
So that is what, like, you asked me the first question, what changed in last 2 years. So I always jokingly I said that, see, we are working from last 20, 30 years and we are working hard. So now the God is kind enough to give us in last 2 years whatever we wanted. So that is just a joke actually, but yeah, so you have to pour many years to get that 2 years or 5 years or 10 years.
Like compounding interest or,
Exactly.
like building the base is the hardest part of building an
Exactly,
apartment.
yes.
And then it all gets better from that point. Yeah, that makes sense. And you recently started, I wouldn't say recently, in the past few years, you started a role at IEEMA as the state convener. Tell us about that. How has it helped you as a person in your business, and how have you helped in that role?
Okay, so IEEMA is basically Indian Association for Electrical Manufacturers. There are almost 900 members, in which L&T is also a member. Like the Siemens, Schneider, all are members of IEEMA. And so basically, the only benefit we get in while being in IEEMA is that you are closer to the industry, you are closer to the people, and you work you work for people, you work for the industry. You are again solving the problem of the industry, not alone, but you are a part of it. So sometimes it feels satisfying that you are not only working for yourself, you are trying to give something to the society, as I told you. It may be industry, it may be society, anyone. How IEEMA has helped me? So IEEMA has helped me to become more informed about the industry news, what's going on. Again, I have made many networking relationship. That's all, but nothing related to business. No benefit related to business.
So it's more you want to give back to the society then.
I want to give back, and in return, I'm getting more information. That's it.
So my lovely friend here just told me about, how you automate delegation in RMC. Could you tell us about that?
Okay, so actually, when I joined the company, it was only a 10 people company. So there was no big hustle to have a follow up with them. When you give them the task, you write it down and just follow it up them. Now we are a 200 people company, white collars, and everybody does not report to me, but I may have some task, or I want them to do the task for a particular time. So what we have done is we have automated the systems. We have prepared the systems and workflows with the turnaround times, in which we have given them the particular in which they have to complete their task. And when I have to give any task to, or I have to assign any task to a person, we have an automated delegation task manager, in which I delegate my EA delegate the task, and then the automated WhatsApp goes to them, and they have to complete, and they have to just complete the task on WhatsApp. And then we have a weekly MIS review with all of them. And we have a numbering system. So anyone who has delayed the task, they will have a less number. That is how we are managing this.
And what has that done for the efficiency and productivity at RMC?
So when I am saying that we are working on TAT, automatically you have ensured the efficiency, productivity, because the person will not procrastinate. They will do that work. And we have also added some coordinators who are following it up on daily basis that, hey man, your task is getting delayed, you need to complete it. As and the KPI for that process coordinator, we call her process coordinator, is that the number of tasks delayed, uh, you will have a 50% of the weightage to that. So that is how we have made some complex culture. That is all software based, so we nothing on manual. Because if it is manual, people will not have trust.
Okay, that makes sense. I think a lot of businesses are incorporating it nowadays.
Yeah, you have to, because you have to manage efficiently. You have to get things from the MNCs. So these type of cultures are there in MNCs because they record each and everything. We think that big companies does not record, but big companies record each and every transaction.
That's right. That's interesting. Okay, so I found this very interesting quote on your LinkedIn. It said, challenges are like a bridge between goals and achievements, which can be won through discipline. Tell us more about what this quote means to you and how it affects your work on a day-to-day basis.
So you can understand that if your goal is to reach Delhi, and so you will have various milestones. So just from one milestone to going to a second milestone, in real life you face some challenges, and you just have to overcome that challenges. You can't make excuse to yourself that that is the reason I'm here. You have to always overcome that challenges. Now, how you can overcome that challenges is to have a discipline, to be in discipline, that and that you should be consistent enough to work like that each time, every time. You have to deliver yourself. And I would say that you know much better. Yeah. You are a swimmer. I should not tell about this thing to you, because if you will not do 6 hours daily, you are not disciplined. You can't beat people. So I think I'm telling the wrong guy.
No, but again, what you said, first and second generation, people just forget discipline. I feel it's like I'll work 2 hours a day and the money will come to me, or I'll work 2 hours a day and the success will come to me. There has to be a mindset switch.
See, there's a difference between success and money. It is true, you can work 2 hours and money will flow. That is true. But that is not true that you will work for 2 hours, the success will come. Okay. So, what is success actually? It's very broad way to say the success. What is success? So, success is basically whatever your success is, like you have planned to reach Delhi at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and you reach at 5. So that is a success. If you reach 5:01, not success. So to reach 5 a.m., which is a hard point because you have to travel overnight, you have to be disciplined that I should start from Jaipur like this. I should be taking my safety gears, something like that. So you have to travel complete road to have that success. Maybe 2 hours or 2 days or 2 months or 2 years or 2 generations, that doesn't matter. So that is the thing I want to tell you. There's a difference between money and success.
What is success for you? Like, what would you achieve so that on your last few days of life you'll be happy with your life? Well, what would that be for you?
I never thought of it of my life actually.
That's very dark. Sorry, I'm gonna say, like, what would make you happy with your life?
Okay, so actually we have made a target for 2030. That in 2030 we'll be achieving 5,000 crore rupees annual turnover. And when we planned for this, we had an order book of maybe 30 crores and our turnover was 50 crores. And we just made our statement that in 2030 we'll be doing 5,000. And I'm happy to say that this year we would be reaching around 10% of that turnover, and we already have 20% of that 5,000 as an order in hand. And now people used to laugh at that time, and I was saying to myself, it's okay if I've done that. If I fail also, nothing will bother me. But now people are saying that with this speed we can achieve this target 1 year or 2 years earlier.
Wow.
Even I am confident about that. So that will be the success for me, actually.
I mean, you're on track to achieve the goal, but what do you think about setting ambitious goals and falling slightly short, or setting safe goals and, overreaching them? What do you think is better?
Goals, see, it never happens that setting a ambitious goal or a comfortable goal. A goal is a goal where you feel like a achiever. Suppose in your case, if your goal is to beat someone, maybe number one, and you achieve, you'll never worry about the speed. You will not. You will work on the speed, but you will. But if your goal is to have that speed, you will not wonder. You will not work for the number one or number two. Understood my point?
Yeah.
So goal is basically a person, depending upon the person to person, and you cannot define that it is a hard goal or a soft goal. For like 5,000 crore rupee, for me is a big goal. For a businessman like Tata Ambani, it is nothing they're doing daily. So for them it is no goal. For me it is ambitious goal. So you can never say the goal is like whatever makes you satisfied is a goal.
Okay, that makes sense. And now, just to wrap up, you've given so many amazing pieces of advice already. What would be the one or two final pieces of advice you would want to give to entrepreneurs or, growing people in management or business? What would be those pieces of advice for you?
So first of all, you need to find what your passion is all about. You have to deep dive into that because everything will start from that. And once you have identified your passion, then you have to learn a lot about it, all insights, how you can convert it into a business. Once you have converted into a business, then you are in a war. Then you have to identify your competitors, you have to identify your supporters, you have to identify your growth, and then you have to set your goal. What are your personal goals, social goals, and what are your professional goals? And once they are identified and you think that you're satisfied achieving them, you will term it as a success once you achieve that goal. I think then you have to just find a way and be disciplined to just go to that goal without diverting yourself anywhere else.
Um, I kind of disagree with a small part of that, and I don't know, maybe we can discuss that. I don't really believe in passion a lot. I believe in purpose. I think passion drives people crazy, and purpose makes people drive themselves to success or whatever they want to achieve.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Okay, great thing. So, okay, tell me one thing. You were just told that passion make people crazy. So you have to be crazy. Okay, you have to be crazy for your goal. You have to be crazy for the success. If you're not crazy, you will not put in yourself 100%. So purpose, when you are passionate, so they complement to each other actually. You are passionate to do something, you are passionate because of some purpose. Like you are passionate for the podcast or you are passionate about these things because you have a purpose of maybe learning or spreading. So passion is most important, and then it creates a purpose. So you are not wrong, you are correct, but passion makes, like I'll just tell you a small example. When I was in a shop, I started my career as a shopkeeper, and when I was in shop I was not having any tours, so I used to think that I should go on tour because just sitting in Jaipur was so boring. So then when I entered into factory in RMC, I was always on a tour, and I thought that tour is so bad, yeah. You just don't have any comfort.
Yeah.
So then I was just reading, and I just read Bill Gates' quote that if you want to be successful, whatever you're doing, find something crazy, something good things in that, so that you love that. So since I was a foodie, I thought, let me try all the food wherever I go, and that made me so happily like going to outside, that I always, whenever in the evening, I always try to find good restaurants, and I always visit a restaurant. So you can ask me any restaurant in any city. So I think that made me more passionate to go to my customers.
Okay.
So I think that was a thing I learned, that you should be passionate about. And since I'm passionate about sales, so I do the sales very good. So I think passion is important as well.
That's great.
That is my part.
I think you've laid out the path to corporate, personal, and social success, and that's just something not everyone can do.
No,
That's great.
thank you.
So for all the viewers, where can they find your work? Where can they track what you've been doing? LinkedIn or...
Yeah, we are present in LinkedIn. We have a website, and we are always giving any press releases whenever there is some news.
Sure. So I'll link those in the description there.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's perfect.
sure.
Thank you for coming on
Thank you
this
so
podcast.
much.
Thank you.